So did Deborah set this up for us? Take care of it?
I think I forgot to sign my name.
You forgot to what?
And I just think of,
No, sign my name. Oh, my comments. Oh, okay.
one, you know, but then the other side of that is that limit the ability to be.
Good evening and welcome to USD 305 Board Meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Yes, Madam President, we have an addition. There is an addendum to the personnel report.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Madam President, make a motion to approve the agenda as corrected.
Emma? And then second? Ann, second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried, 7-0. No recognitions or presentations tonight. That's almost
We have it coming next time, so.
next time.
Next time.
Okay.
Yes, Madam President.
Okay, it's kind of unusual. I think that that's one of our pride and joys is recognition of students and teachers. Next is the approval of the consent agenda items. We have minutes of the February 27th, 2018 regular meeting, personnel report, financial reports, which include February bills list, February bond bills list, bond budget summary, approve encumbrance listing to Ed Bozart Chevrolet for the purchase of two 2018 Chevrolet Impalas for Heartland Early Education in the amount of $39,954. Is there any discussion?
Madam President, I move approval of the consent agenda items as listed.
Thank you, Carol.
Second.
Second with Jim. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 7-0. Next on our agenda is public forum. And I do see that I have a little sheet here that says that Amber Fishburne would like to come forward. Okay, come ahead. When you get there, just announce your name, that you live here in Salina.
My name is Amber Fishburne, 365 North Kansas Avenue, Salina, Kansas.
Thank you, and let me read this little opening here.
You may want to move that mic.
Do you really want
Yeah.
to hear me?
Yeah, we do want to hear you, Amber.
Okay.
Okay, as a reminder, public forum is a non-action item on the agenda. The board appreciates patrons taking time to share with us about their thoughts and concerns. This is not an appropriate time or place for patrons to make comments of a personal nature about any district employee or student. Persons making comments which violate the privacy rights of district employees and students will be asked to stop speaking or cease their remarks. If a patron or parent has a concern with one or more employees, the board will refer that person to the appropriate supervisor or to the superintendent for further review. You're on, Amber.
Once again, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to have a voice for parents and for children. Once again, I'm here to looking for a solution and continuing to search for a solution as a parent. On March 5th, not to go into detail, but I lost my connection with my son. And my son shut down for the first time ever. And as a parent, I don't know if you've seen disappointment or hurt or any volume, which I'm sure you have, to watch that happen to your child is very heart-wrenching. So I continue to try to prioritize what we've got going on nationwide, and particularly in Salina, as far as the safety of our children on all levels, being inside the school and outside the school. My son has dealt a lot with bullying over the last year, which has been an eye-opener, one, and two, very discouraging, but not in the hands of the school. I'm proud to announce that the school has done the best that they can with what they have. What I'm trying to figure out is how we can get to the end sooner. So in the third event that happened with my son, it happened so consecutively that there wasn't an immediate reaction. So the voice was heard, was put in the hands of the right people, and it didn't get there quick enough. So they were still placed together. So I know that, I believe, state and federal-wise, we've adopted several laws for bullying and the things that we can do to make things easier change. I don't know if that can be changed in a district or that just per se to our area, if we can add amendments to that to do something. So as a parent, I want to figure it out. So I think I'm coming to you and asking all of you with all of your degrees in education and life lessons and in the system and in the district, what can we do as parents to partner up to help with these situations? We just need to get somewhere, and I'd rather be the place to start it than the place to end it. My son is, when comments come out of 10-year-old's mouth that, you know, bury yourself in a hole and die, or we just want you to die, and a 10-year-old's mind doesn't absorb that in the way that we would as an adult. And as a parent, I can say, this isn't what people say to each other. This isn't what we do. So we need something. So I just want to, can we find the something? And I think that's what I'm asking for. The school has been amazing as far as trying to keep things in the loop. But I had to take action against a child that I never thought that I would have to do at 10 years old. I had to file a police report. And that was the extreme that I felt too. I needed to go through as a mom to protect my son. So I just want to put that bug in everybody's ear. Thank you guys for letting me speak again this week, or this meeting.
Thank you, Amber, for taking your time to visit with the board. We always do encourage and value the input from the community and 305 patrons, as we appreciate all of your thoughts and your sharing with us. Thank you. Next on our agenda is action item, set special meeting for board retreat. Dr. Hardy?
Yes, Madam President. With input from the Board of Education members, I'd like to affirm that June 21st, 2018 is a good date for the annual Board of Education retreat, and therefore it's recommended that the Board of Education approve setting a special meeting on Thursday, June 21st, 2018, beginning at 8:30 at the Holiday Inn for a board retreat as presented.
Thank you. Any discussion? Do I have a motion?
Madam President, I move that we set a special meeting on Thursday, June 21st, 2018, beginning at 8:30 at the Holiday Inn for a board retreat.
Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Emma. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 7-0. Next on our action agenda is 2018-29 textbook rental fees with Dr. Hardy.
Yes, Madam President. Before you is the fee schedule for textbook rental fees. I would note that the fee for 2018 recommendation is the same as the 2017-18. Therefore, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the textbook rental fees for the 2018-19 school year.
Any discussion? Any motions?
Madam President, I move that we approve the textbook rental fees for the 2018-2019 school year as presented.
Thank you, Jim. Second? Gary seconded. I had to look at you for sure. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Next is discussion agenda, and we have none. So we'll move on to school board reports and upcoming dates of importance. And I'm going to start with you, Gary.
Oh. Well, I don't think it's any news to any of us that we all went to Salina Central to a wonderful open house yesterday, and I had fun getting tours from students and questioning about what they knew about the school and the history. And I had three really neat kids tour me around, and that was great fun. In addition, then, I served on the Education Foundation Lift Committee, and we picked 4 recipients. I believe those names may have come out to us already, and we'll meet them in person, I think, the next meeting, or at 4:30 before the next meeting, or
I think
April.
it's in
Okay,
April.
in April.
Second meeting in April.
Second meeting in April, all right. Great kids. That is a lot of fun to interview kids in that kind of a situation and see high-quality students, that are achieving a lot coming forth, and get to know them personally. So anyway, that was great fun. So we'll meet them, and I think that would be all I could say since the last meeting.
Thank you. Ann?
I attended the Heartland Early Education Policy Council, and they were preparing for the federal monitoring visit, and so then later I attended with Carol and Nedra the meeting with one of the monitoring people from National Head Start, and I think we did a good job of conveying how great our program is. I attended the Smoke Hill Education Service Center meeting, and I was happy to have Jim attend with me. He's the alternate, and thanks to his questions afterwards, I learned a lot more about Smoke Hill Education Service Center than I had known before. I attended the Central National Honor Society induction and the Central Ribbon cutting. Dr. Hardy presented a program at Rotary on the first Monday in March and impressed everybody with the wonder and greatness of our school district. And this week and last week I've been in the schools for songwriting workshops with 5th graders at Coronado and 6th graders at Lakewood. Thank you.
Thank you. Gabe?
I, not in any official capacity, but got to attend the NHS induction at Central, the Lakewood Career Fair, which showed great support from the community with all the booths set up there. Central ribbon cutting last night with everybody. The Salina Symphony outreach concert to all of our 4th graders in USD 305, and then some in the area as well. And then last week read to Tara Robinette's 1st grade class at Cottonwood. That was a great experience. Mr. Griffiths gave me a tour of their whole building while students were out decorating the halls for Read Across America Week. And I don't know if it qualifies as new board member hazing, but If I Ran the Zoo is definitely at the top of the Dr. Seuss reading difficulty, and that was the book I was handed when I walked in the class. So thank you, Tara, for that. That's all I've got.
Emma?
Went to the wonderful ribbon cutting ceremony for the new high school at Central, and it was really, really nice. And then went to an adult education meeting, but they canceled it, but I found out where the building was at least. So anyway, but that's all I have to report.
Okay, thank you. Carol?
Nothing different from what anyone else has said in terms of meetings attended and so on. So.
Jim?
Same for me.
Okay. I did attend the Chamber of Commerce meeting, Heartland Review also, and that was great. Also the Heartland Review for just the board members. And I say ditto to Ann's comments. I thought it was very, very nice. Also went to the LIFT interviews with Salina Education Foundation. 5 students are delightful and raring to go. I can see some promise with that program and our use of what money SEF has gathered for that particular program. It's paying off, I think. Central ribbon cutting. Went up to Lakewood last Saturday for mock interviews. Really enjoyed that and got to meet a lift recipient again up there, which was great, and got to meet a lot of Bethany people too. Also attended one-act plays and National Honor Society at Central. So we also have Saturday, March 17th, Chamber Legislative Meeting at 8:30 a.m. Tuesday, April 10th, Salina Education Foundation reception at 4:30. I guess that's our first meeting in April. Saturday, April 21st, Chamber Legislative meeting again at 8:30. Tuesday, April 24th, Salina Stadium ribbon cutting at 4:30. And then we run back right here to here, don't we, for a 5 o'clock meeting. And then Sunday, May 6th, retirement reception and recognition at Lakewood. And we're already into May and mentioning that. This year's gone by fast. Superintendent's report.
Madam President, and the rest of the board, just to let you know, I am staying close to our legislators, our area legislators, as things begin to heat up in Topeka. I am very appreciative that they are available. They take my calls and they call me, and they return my texts, so I very much appreciate that. I understand this, it's not that good every place else, so I'm very appreciative of those folks for doing that. A few highlights of my week. I really enjoyed the Heartland Review. That was so much, I learned so many good things about that program. It is very impressive. The presentation to Rotary was just fun. You know, we have so many good things going on in our district. It's nice to share those with other people. Afterwards, people came up and just said, I didn't know this or I didn't know that. So that's kind of fun to have that opportunity. I would also like to point out, I appreciate Board Member Gabe inviting me to the Salina Symphony Outreach Concert. That was an impressive concert. The way they, what's Hokata? Hakoda, I say it correctly. He had those fourth graders in the palm of his hand. And that's got to be a difficult thing. The room was full. And the way he taught them how to behave at a concert, that this is what the concert master does, this is what the director does, or the conductor. It was just really neat to see the students listen. And then, of course, he started out with the William Tell Overture, and he had them he had them after that. So that was just so well done. And also, I just would like to comment on the ribbon cutting ceremony. I have to really thank all the folks that had such a role in that. It was so well done, so professional. Mr. Showman and his team at Central did such an awesome job of taking care of all the details, his custodians. Chris Upson and the great people at Maintenance Operations, they had a hand in on it. And of course, Jennifer Bradford Vernon and our department, our Director of Information, did a super job. It was just so well done, so smooth, that we just have to thank all those people for doing it. I did notice that the principal from the other high school was paying close attention, and so we're wondering how he's going to try and top that, so we'll have to really note that.
How many people do you think attended?
You know, I don't know. The newspaper said hundreds, so I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah.
But it's just so well done, a great affirmation, and really a compliment to our community that the value they place on public education to give us such a cutting-edge high school. Just extremely impressive. So I heard compliments all evening as I went through the building. So that's all, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to executive session. We do need some time for personnel. How much do we need?
10 minutes?
10 minutes for personnel. Do I have a motion?
Madam President, I move the Board of Education go into executive session at
Give us 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5:25.
5:25 for 10 minutes for the purpose of discussing personnel matters of non-elected personnel and their contractual obligations, because if this matter were discussed in open session, it may invade the privacy of those discussed, and that the Board of Education reconvene into open session at 5:35 in the board conference room.
Thank you. Jim motion, Carol second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried, 7-0. We are dismissed, and Those that want to stay can stay in this room. We meet just right across the hall for executive session.